Welcome back to my channel. Celeb Buzz, please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates.
Jeff Chandler tells us about the secret girlfriend he had who liked women instead of men. Jeff Chandler was born with the name Ira Gracel on December 15, 1918, in Brooklyn, K. He grew up in a working family that was Jewish, and Chandler found out he loved acting when he was very young. After he finished high school at Erasmus Hall High School, he went to the Fegan School of Drama in New York City. There he learned how to act better and work on the radio. Like many young men back then, Chandler had to fight in World War II. He was sent to work on the Aleutian Islands. His time as a soldier made him want to become an entertainer even more. When he came back home, Chandler's first jobs were on the radio, where his deep voice made him really popular in many drama shows. He started acting in movies after he worked on stage and played small parts in cheap movies. His big chance came in 1949 when he got to play an Apache Indian chief named Cochise in a movie called Broken Arrow. He acted alongside James Stewart. This role got him nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and made him really famous. The part was special because it showed Native Americans as real people with feelings, which movies rarely did back then. Chandler played the same character again in other movies like The Battle at Apache Pass in 1952 and Taza, Son of Cochise in 1954. This made him known as an actor who would play different kinds of people with care and respect. During the 1950s, Chandler was in many successful movies. He usually played soldiers, adventurers, or men who had to make tough choices. Some of his famous movies were Merrill's Marauders, Smuggler's Island, Yankee Buccaneer, Foxfire, Away All Boats. He worked with many of the biggest actresses of that time, like Jane Russell, Joan Crawford, Maureen O'Hara, and Rhonda Fleming. People loved watching him on screen, and other actors said he was very nice and professional to work with, whether he was in big movies or regular studio movies. Besides acting, Jeff Chandler could also sing really well. He made several records. And even though his singing career wasn't as big as his movie career, his smooth voice got him many fans. He often appeared on TV variety shows and sang in nightclubs, showing that he could do many different things beyond just acting in movies. He was also one of the first Hollywood stars to want to make his own movies. Hoping to have more control over the stories he told, Jeff Chandler married an actress named Marjorie Hoschel in 1946, after World War II ended. This was when he was changing from radio and theater work to making Hollywood movies. Marjorie was a good actress, too. Had been in several movies during the 1940s. Both of them loved the entertainment business, which probably brought them together. People saw their marriage as a glamorous Hollywood wedding that showed how hopeful everyone was after the war ended. They made a home together and had 2 daughters over time. Jamie Tucker was born in 1947, and Dana Grosel was born in 1949. Chandler was born as Ira Grosel. Audie's daughter Dana kept the family last name to connect her to her father's background. Even though his acting career kept him very busy, Chandler tried to be a loving father. Friends said he was very sweet with his children and loved them very much, but his job kept getting busier, and being famous was hard, which would eventually hurt his family life. During the 1950s, Chandler's career got bigger and bigger, and he became one of Universal Pictures' most popular stars. But his marriage to Hoschel started having problems because of Hollywood's constant attention. So they had to be apart for long times because of movie filming, and they started fighting more. People heard that the couple kept breaking up and getting back together many times over the years. In 1957, Chandler started dating Esther Williams, who was a famous swimmer and actress. She was one of MGM's biggest stars and was known for her water movies and being very beautiful. Their relationship happened right in front of the Hollywood reporters, which made everyone very interested. Williams had just divorced actor Fernando Lamas, and her relationship with Chandler brought lots of newspaper stories to both of them. Chandler and Williams were seen together at public events and parties, and people said their romance was passionate but sometimes had problems. This very public love affair was the last straw for Chandler's already weak marriage. Marjorie Hoschel felt embarrassed and hurt by her husband's new relationship, so she filed for divorce, even though they had separated before. It wasn't until the Williams affair that she decided to legally end their marriage. While a divorce took a long time, but their marriage officially ended in 1959. Their marriage falling apart was seen as another example of how hard it was for famous people to keep their personal lives happy. Besides his romance with Esther Williams, Chandler was rumored to have had short but famous affairs with other well-known actresses. One of these was Gloria DeHaven, a beautiful and lively star known for her roles in light musicals and romantic movies. DeHaven had been married and divorced twice and knew all about Hollywood romances. Even though we don't know all the details about her relationship with Chandler, they were seen together many times. It's made gossip writers think they might be dating. Chandler was also linked to the fiery and talented Ann Sheridan, who people called the oomph girl because she was so exciting on screen. Sheridan was known for being independent and strong-willed. Her rumored relationship with Chandler made people think he was a charming leading man that some of the most admired. Women couldn't resist, even though he was charming and looked like a reliable all-American man. Jeff Chandler's personal life was much more complicated. Trying to balance being famous, doing demanding movie roles, having a troubled marriage, and dealing with romantic problems was really hard for him. Even though he was known for being professional and warm when making movies, his love life often got into trouble, showing that even polished Hollywood stars had emotional problems hidden underneath. During the golden age of Hollywood, private lives of movie stars were often kept secret. The movie studios and publicists worked very hard to make sure their biggest money-making stars looked perfect to the public. Jeff Chandler, the tall, silver-haired leading man who is best known for his tough guy roles in movies like Broken Arrow and Merrill's Marauders, was no different. As one of Universal Pictures' most popular stars in the 1950s, Chandler was often said to be dating high-profile starlets, but his love life was more complicated than fan magazines ever told people. In an honest, little-known conversation that was later told by a close friend, Chandler supposedly admitted that during the height of his fame, he had a deeply emotional but secret romantic relationship with famous actress Barbara Stanwyck. She was a woman who people had long suspected of having relationships with both men and women behind the carefully built image of her tough, independent movie character. Chandler reportedly admired Stanwyck not only for her talent and screen presence, but also for her strength and emotional intelligence. She had been a major star since the 1930s with unforgettable performances in movies like Stella Dallas, Double Indemnity, and Sorry, Wrong Number. When she wasn't acting, she was very private, especially about her personal relationships. Even though she had been married early in her career to actor Robert Taylor, many Hollywood insiders believed their marriage was set up by the studio to stop persistent rumors about Stanwyck's sexual orientation. According to the story Chandler shared privately, the two stars met in the late 1940s at a dinner party hosted by a mutual friend. They connected right away. Chandler, who was known for his charm and gentlemanly behavior, was drawn to Stanwyck's tough exterior and the vulnerability she kept well hidden from the public eye. What started as a friendship soon turned romantic, though both knew it would. It'd be impossible to make their relationship public, as Barbara didn't trust people easily, Chandler reportedly said. But once she did, she gave you everything: loyalty, love, insight. She didn't need saving, and I never wanted to save her. I just wanted to be near her, to understand her. Their relationship happened quietly, without the tabloids and gossip columnists knowing. They would often meet at hidden locations, using back doors and fake names to avoid being caught. Chandler claimed that their connection was one of mutual respect and deep emotional closeness. Even though Stanwyck was determined that the relationship never be made public, she had built a fortress around her personal life. Chandler, who understood the pressures of fame, respected her wishes, despite their bond. This relationship eventually ended, not because of scandal or betrayal, but because both understood how dangerous the situation was. Chandler's rising star meant more people watching him, while Stanwyck, who had already been in the spotlight for decades, was worried about exposing herself to more questions and speculation. Still, Chandler reportedly carried deep love for her until his death, and he called her the one woman who knew the man behind the actor. Even though it was never officially confirmed, the story of Jeff Chandler's secret romance with Barbara Stanwyck has been passed down by a handful of old Hollywood insiders, whispered among those who understood how much had to be hidden in an industry obsessed with image. In naming her as the woman he dated in secret, Chandler offered not just a revelation, but a tribute to a woman he admired, respected, and quietly loved in a time when the truth was often the most dangerous story of all, while filming the war. Movie Merrill's Marauders on location in the Philippines in early 1961. Jeff Chandler found himself not just doing the demanding role of Brigadier General Frank D. Merrill, but also participating in fun activities with the real-life U.S. Army Special Forces troops who were working as extras in the film. One such activity, a friendly but rough game of baseball on April 15, 1961, turned out to be tragically deadly. During the game, Chandler hurt his back. It's an incident that would soon start a series of medical events that ultimately ended his life. At first, the injury was treated with regular pain medicine. He got shots to numb the intense pain so he could finish his work on the film. Showing his well-known professionalism and commitment to his craft, Chandler pushed through the remaining scenes, hiding the growing pain from the public and his fellow cast members. However, injury was more serious than anyone originally thought. When he returned to the United States, his condition got worse. And by May 13, 1961, he was admitted to a hospital in Culver City, California. Doctors said he had a herniated spinal disc, a condition that caused severe nerve compression and constant agony. Chandler had surgery that was supposed to relieve the pressure on his spine. However, what was expected to be a routine medical procedure quickly turned catastrophic. During the operation, an artery was accidentally cut, leading to massive internal bleeding. His condition rapidly got worse, and doctors were forced to perform a second emergency operation just 4 days later on May 17th. This marathon procedure lasted 7.5 hours, during which Chandler needed an amazing 55 pints of blood in a desperate attempt to stabilize him and repair the extensive blood vessel damage. Despite these heroic medical efforts, his body remained in critical condition as he stayed in the hospital, struggling against mounting complications. Doctors attempted a third operation on May 27th, hoping to prevent further infection and stabilize his condition. This procedure needed an additional 20 pints of blood. Unfortunately, these attempts to save him didn't work. Chandler's immune system was overwhelmed. He developed a severe blood infection called sepsis, which was made worse by pneumonia. On June 17, 1961, just 43 years old, Jeff Chandler passed away. His death shocked the public and devastated fans who admired his work and on-screen charm at the time of his untimely death. Chandler was romantically involved with British actress Barbara Shelley, a rising star in British cinema known for her roles in Hammer horror films. Their relationship, although relatively new, has been serious enough that friends and insiders speculated on the possibility of a future engagement. Chandler's death robbed Shelley of a man she described as deeply kind and passionate, while Hollywood lost one of its most respected and bankable stars. Chandler's funeral drew an outpouring of grief from the entertainment community and his devoted fans. Held in Los Angeles, the service was attended by more than 1,500 mourners, showing the depth of affection and respect he had earned throughout his career. Among the pallbearers were fellow actors Tony Curtis and Gerald Moore, both personal friends who had admired Chandler not only for his talent, but for his integrity and generous spirit. He was laid to rest at Hillside Memorial Park Cemetery in Culver City, California, a burial site known as the final resting place of many notable Jewish entertainers. In the wake of Chandler's tragic passing, questions arose regarding the circumstances of his medical treatment. An investigation concluded that Chandler's death had resulted, at least in part, from medical malpractice. Allegedly, the arterial damage sustained during his initial surgery and the inadequate response to subsequent complications constituted a breach in the standard of care. Chandler's two daughters, Jamie Tucker and Dana Grossel, through legal representatives, filed a lawsuit against both the hospital and the attending physicians, seeking $1.5 million in damages for wrongful death and negligence. After prolonged legal proceedings, the lawsuit was eventually settled out of court for $233 to $5.8. As is often the case with such settlements, the agreement included a joint statement in which all parties, Chandler's family, the hospital, and the doctors affirmed that no legal fault or liability had been formally admitted. Still, the tragic sequence of errors served as a cautionary tale about the risks of routine surgeries and the fragility of even the most vigorous lives. At the time of his death, Jeff Chandler's estate was valued at approximately $600,000, a significant sum for the era, reflecting his successful film career and sound financial planning. He left the entirety of his estate to his two daughters, ensuring that they would be provided for despite the sudden loss of their father. However, complications arose when his ex-wife, Marjorie Harshall, whom he had married in 1946 and divorced, in 1959 sued the estate for $80,000. She claimed the amount was owed to her under the terms of their divorce settlement, adding another layer of legal turmoil to the family's grief. Despite the sorrow surrounding his death, Jeff Chandler's legacy in Hollywood remains secure. For his contributions to the film industry, including memorable roles in Broken Arrow, Flame of Araby, and Merrill's Marauders, he was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His star, located at 1770 Vine Street, continues to be a place where fans leave flowers and tributes. Remembering a performer who combined rugged masculinity with quiet sensitivity and whose career was cut short far too soon.